He is one of the most radical designers of our time. He is one of the few who see fashion not only as clothing, but as an art form and manifesto, a way of expressing oneself. His designs are dark, monumental, and often constructed like sculptures. Most fashion brands want one thing: to please, to serve trends, to sell. Rick Owens often wants the opposite. He is known for leather, extreme silhouettes, dramatic shoulders, an aesthetic that polarizes and yet fascinates. He is celebrated because he doesn't just want to make fashion beautiful, he wants to make it true. And yet thousands of fans, critics, and designers follow him because he does something that others don't. He tells the truth about our times, and he manages to make the wearer look strong, confident, and sexy. That's exactly what makes him one of the most influential visionaries of our generation. He calls his latest collection Temple. And in this video, we'll take a look at why it's more than just fashion and what you can learn from it for your own creativity. Hey, I'm Michael, a fashion designer and entrepreneur from Germany. I studied not only fashion design but also fashion business administration, and I also worked for Rick Owens back then. However, this video is not an advertisement. I'm making it because I really like the current collection. Before we go in, let me quickly explain why you should stay tuned. Rick Owens is not just any designer. His show Temple is running parallel to a retrospective in Paris, right in the middle of the Palais Galliera. An outsider from California is now hanging in the museum alongside the biggest names in fashion history. That's no coincidence, it's proof. If you watch this video to the end, you'll understand why his collection isn't just fashion, but a strategy for how to build a brand with weight from your own idea, and why almost everyone else fails at it. We'll take 3 steps. I'll show you the concept behind Temple and why it works. We'll go through the looks, materials, and details that carry the message. I'll translate the whole thing into a system that you can use for your own creative work. This isn't fashion gossip, it's a roadmap for making your brand distinctive. The new Spring-Summer 2026 collections were once again presented at the Palais de Tokyo in Paris. For the women's collection, the stage was not a classic catwalk. Rick Owens had steps built directly into the fountain, and the models descended into the water step by step. This was no coincidence. It looked like a ritual descent, almost like a procession. Instead of a red carpet, there was a pool. Instead of flawless perfection, resistance and uncertainty, and that may be precisely the message. The clothes became heavy, fabrics changed, silhouettes were reshaped. Nylon, tulle, chiffon, they all reacted to the water. Some details became invisible, others really stood out. Walking through the water was like a rite of passage. In many cultures, water represents purification, a new beginning, rebirth, and Owens translated that into fashion. Those who descend here come out changed. It was like an altar, a temple within a temple. Everything about it said, this is not a catwalk, this is a sacred space. And psychologically, that's exactly what happens. We as spectators feel the tension. We don't know whether the clothes will succeed or fail. Will they be destroyed or become more beautiful? This game of control and loss of control creates tension. And that's exactly why the show sticks in the mind. It's not just a visual experience, but a ritual. For the men's collection, a bridge was built into the fountain, which the models had to climb down using a ladder. Here too, the models walk slowly through the water, paying no attention to wet feet or destruction. So why the name Temple? A temple is more than a building. It is a place of refuge, a place where people go when chaos reigns outside. We live in uncertain times. Economy, politics, crises, everything is falling apart faster than we think. His answer: tough fashion for tough times. Nylon or leather, these are not fabrics that decay, these are fabrics that resist. But, and this is crucial, in the midst of this toughness, he makes a statement: temple of love. Owens himself says, love is a word worth promoting right now. He creates a contrast that our brains can't let go of. Toughness and love, protection and fragility. And it works because we humans are exactly like that. We want security, but at the same time we need hope. And when both come together in one product, it sticks. That's exactly what makes Temple not just a collection, but a message. The women's looks are a mixture of armor and fragility. Heavy materials such as recycled nylon or latex are combined with transparent tulle layers and flowing chiffon. It is a balance between strength and vulnerability. Metal shoulders, but underneath transparency that hints at skin. Lines and shoulder pads that give the body a new shape. Ruffles and draping add detail and create a futuristic look that can also be worn really well. Transparent fabrics that reveal the body. Elongated silhouettes created by a basic fabric that stretches the body. Shoulder pads that are exaggeratedly wide. But why not? His showpieces appear abstract and delicate, yet masculine and confident. The fine leather strips are processed upside down to create a volume reminiscent of an outfit that could have come from Yeti. Unlike this look, where the leather appears harder and thus creates a completely different effect. It's as if the wearer wants to protect themselves like a hedgehog sticking out its quills, draping here and extreme volume there. Empty stares through contact lenses and subtle makeup and hairstyling. The entire collection is tone on tone, no color accents. The focus is entirely on structure and silhouette. For men, Owens combines oversized silhouettes with elements from art and mythology. Leather straps are reminiscent of fetish whips. Parkas made from recycled nylon act as a second skin and protective coats. The fit upper body is confidently displayed as if the man wants to show that he can hold his own. Unlike the women's collection, this collection appears more sober and understated. Accessories such as the oversized safety carabiner symbolize protection and trust. The models descend the steps cautiously and with concentration. The high heels make it exciting to see whether it is even feasible and whether anyone will slip. Bomber jackets, trench coats, and denim jackets dominate the styling here as well. The same sequined fabric that covered the statues in front of the Palais Galliera was used here, a long silhouette with a deep V neckline. On closer inspection, urinal images were used as print patterns. Some brands would reject this in the design process, but Rick dares to use it as a design element. The models are completely submerged in water. The wet fabric sticks to the skin and makes you feel uncomfortable, but the models continue to look confident and strong into the distance. Although the clothes are loose-fitting, they still look form-fitting and sexy. Owens weaves together pop culture, art history, and craftsmanship. Everything comes together, a temple of references that is both brutal and poetic. Many new fashion designers or startups see fashion only as clothing, not as a message. This lacks depth in the collection and makes it interchangeable. Owens shows that a clear vision gives you DNA and uniqueness. You don't need $1 million budget for expensive fashion shows or a broad collection, but rather an attitude in your brand message. 90% of new fashion brands fail because they don't have a clear identity. Owens proves how DNA can carry a brand for decades. From the chaos of Hollywood Boulevard to a museum in Paris, Owens' path is itself a manifesto and proof that you can make it. Rick Owens shows with Temple, fashion is more than a trend. It is a temple built of fabric, leather, and emotion, a place that protects, inspires, and reminds us that even in hard times, there is room for love. And that's exactly what you can take away with you. Your brand doesn't have to be perfect. It has to have meaning. What do you think? Does fashion have to be appealing, or can it be uncomfortable? Write your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to learn how to find your own brand DNA, check out the example from the last video where I described the Dior show, because everyone has their own temple. You just have to build it.